Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Per Hitro say Edo, the heartbeat of the nation, is now the heartbreak of the nation. He say make una remove traditional rulers from politics. Make I leave you, make you hear the message wey Per Hitro bring come today.
When you speak, they try to tag you as an enemy of our tradition, right? But there's one thing people should understand. No fool, no vagabond, no hooligan can remove me or can tell me I'm not a Duma or I'm not a Bini man. Not even to call me I'm not a Sese, just because I speak my mind. You know what is going on in Edo State? Is how do I call it? Self-desire, money. It's just money. This MOA has proven to me that most Benin people or most people in power in Benin are not interested in the development of Edo, but they are interested in their own self-enrichment of their self and their family. Okay, those supporting this nonsense, you understand? So, when all this story was going on, COVID-19 entered, and there were a lot of discussion going on. According to Obaseki, he said, when the initiative of this MOA comes to that, okay, Benin will create a hub where you study archaeology, like a laboratory, a tourist center, a lot of things, apart from just displaying museum. They were not even much interested about artifacts stored in MOA. They wanted to make, since Benin has a very strong culture, they wanted to make that place a tourist center for where traditional issues or things are being done in West Africa as one of the oldest and greatest empire days back in Nigeria. But unfortunately, according to him, I was not there. He said he now even questioned when they were going to do budget for agriculture, for culture and arts. They requested for them to bring their proposal of the Benin Royal Museum. He mentioned name. His personal, at that time he said, his chief of staff, Sarajo said we should ask him. So those the lions and the tiger in Benin should ask whether Obaseki lied of what he said. Good afternoon, my fellow fans, my still reliable Edolites and Nigeria in general. It's been a while. I know it's been a while. I've been quiet for a while, and I continue receiving calls and messages and a lot of texts from my TikTok, my handle, and just name it, WhatsApp. Those who are very close to me. But I felt that it is necessary, very necessary for me to at least share my views. But these days we are very, very careful these days because we have a very strong lions and the tigers in power in Edo State that you don't have the right to exercise your fundamental human right by expressing yourself and your feelings in the public. Okay, but I will use this medium to express my feelings, what I feel about what is going on in my beloved, how do I call it, beloved state, Edo State, you know. But let me put this thing here so that I will be saying very well. Okay, good. That's what has been going on for a very long time, starting from the disgrace we encountered when the diplomats were in Benin regarding the opening of the MOA. There's an adage in Benin that says that I will explain because I want to be very, very civil and universal in my explanation or dropping my own view, what I feel that has transpired since roughly 2 weeks now. Yeah, about 2 weeks now. But what I mean by that statement is that whales are not afraid. Whales, they don't have fear, they don't have panic, they don't have anything at all. Okay, being spoken. But it is the person that is using the words that is afraid. So sometimes we need to be very cautious. We need to be very, very safe-guided in anything we are doing because we are not living in a democratic society any longer. a nation or a state, let me use that word, state, or a community or ethnicity or people that were known to be the heartbeat of the nation in several things positively in Nigeria is now the heartbreak of Nigeria. Okay, now many Edolites on TikTok and Facebook rain insult on you when you are not on the same line with them. That is the beauty of democracy. That is the beauty of civilization. Okay, in the world. Today I will try to speak slowly because when I fast, you barely hear what I'm saying. I have been so emotion for the past 1 week, and I decided to come out and speak emotionally on social media. I decided to come out and open to everybody. Anytime you speak against their principles or their policies, there's a big question I want to know from the Edos. Why are they not taking the traditional rulers out of politics? If they want to make you fear not to speak further, they will call you enemy of the palace. This is their tactics. This is what they use. Now let's revise the tape back to Moa. There's a trending video going on when Obaseki, I think that was 2018 or 2019, thereabout. Then Obaseki said he promised to build a museum, the Benin Royal Museum, which has never been cancelled as a proposal or as a project. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know where the other Benis get their facts from, you understand? When you speak, they try to tag you as an enemy of our tradition, right? But there's one thing people should understand. No fool, no vagabond, no hooligan can remove me or can tell me I'm not a Duma or I'm not a Bini man. Not even to call me I'm not a Sese, just because I speak my mind. Now, right from time immemorial, Edo has no rules and regulations that created rules and regulations that anybody that is not or that is against their decisions or what people do that he has to be sentenced to death or his life has to be threatened. Normally, when you committed a very big havoc, even when witch and witchcrafts do confess in Benin, in time immemorial, 700-800 years ago, when they were living on epoch like that, when I mean people were really living, just in poverty and not civilization, no light, nothing at all, you know, they never kill anybody because of any crime in Benin Kingdom. They sent you an exile. When the witch's confesses is destroyed or killed, and the whole family, all they do, they banish her or him from the village. When you commit other similar crimes that are not so big like that, disrespect, disloyalty to the kingdom, betraying or stuff like that, then were aburu. Aburu means that in Benin language means that you will not be visited, you will not visit anybody, people will not collaborate with you, people will not do things with you in common, but you will still be living in the same village with everybody. Just as the way it was done to Segure. Segure is still living. Is he late? But why are these people, these modern hooligans we are seeing now, some few hooligans in Benin are now using violence in trying to convince you or seduce you to have the same thought with them? Now, let me not leave my topic more. Yeah, I think I listened to, what's his name? Is Zedo to call him, I don't know, this man, Zodua. He used one English language that I wanted to buy from him, 60%. He said it was an intelligence scam that was done to the Benin tradition, or the Benin royal house, right? Way of saying, right? I wanted to buy it from him, but when I go closely to the explanation of the former governor, God will know as a Obaseki, I realized that there was some intrigues into this issue, why this MOA was created in Benin City. Now, don't forget that he never said he was part of the story from the beginning. He said, but when he came into power, he tried to listen to what was going on and ask them what is the real problem. And he said, no. When they took the certificate from Benin, I said it in my previous video. Those go and rewind what I said before. I said the British took it from the royal house. At that time, the Oba Benin was in charge of our kingdom. I think the Benin Kingdom was the last empire or kingdom that deformed into the hands of the British that makes us to have the nation called Nigeria today. It was the only place not governed by the British at that time. The whole kingdom were annexed into the British rule. Okay, we lost a lot of counties and a lot of villages to the British. From here to Kokoto, whatever it was covered as about the area up to Lagos, some part of Ghana, Cotonou, and the rest. We are lost to the British, but our main source, our main central was still with us to the reach of the Obabini. Now, it was taken from the palace and various important chiefs. We have a lot of BP chiefs those days who were having close ties with the Obabini, who have a say in Benin Kingdom. You just need to go and read your history. The seven Zamani here are not pushover chiefs in Benin. In short, they were having a small palace. If you go to Ero, you will see the palace there. I see a lot of things there that you just like he makes decisions on his own area too those days. Only he has and so on and so forth. But we're not going there the struggle of power. We're only trying to bring out some facts of what happened. Now, the expedition, the invasion of Benin Kingdom 1897 took place, and they took those things away and sold them out to pay for the cost of the war. Okay. Now, they don't want to return these things back. For those young boys who speak on social media today, on TikTok, who were not born in 1977, so go and look the treaty, the negotiation that the Nigerian government did for the first tax of 7 Idi ahead to be returned to Benin for just the festival, and the price of 3 million. 3 million naira was equivalent to 3 million, almost 3 million pounds. The British refused. And the one you see in the museum, in the British museums, there are so many under the floor, were preserved. Now, when the British sold these things to various places in the world, Germans bought a lot of it. A lot, more than 1,000 they bought. Now, they were trying not to break this by saying that this is a very fragile, they give a lot of excuses, because otherwise, the story started from Baba Kenzwa, which is closely 50 years ago. Almost 50 years ago, yeah. Edo It entered in 1979. I was in Usulu. And said I was among those young fools who trekked with him to Benin when it was now become a king in Benin. So I'm not today. They're not born me today. So this issue has been linked. The Obaseki came out to explain to us that he now found out that these people, they are trying to play tricks on us, that we don't have a strong and befitting place to keep this fragile object. You know, so there's no problem. Now, let's work together. So, this is how a Moa was born. That does not stop the artifact not to be under the custodian or the property of the Oba of Benin. But the fact is that a federal government cannot be dealing with a king that is no longer in power. That's the fact. You might look at it as an insult. To me, it is not an insult. It is a true story. We now have the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have explained it before this. I'm sorry, please. I'm busy. I'll call you later, please. No, stop disturbing me. Let me put it on the not ringing. So now the federal government was not so much concerned about it. This is gospel truth. We got politics. Good afternoon, Joshua. Then the governor said, look, enough, okay, no problem. This is state government. Let's collaborate with the federal government and the German government and the Netherlands government on behalf of the palace. We were told on his explanation, he mentioned name, Prince Gregory Irediawa, was part of the member nominated for the big house. That is what he said. That is what he said. I'm not. The videos are there circulating, and let anybody comes out and said, replica what he said, and said, look, oh, this is not true. Since the Obaseki made those videos, they are all everywhere. Nobody can tell me they did not see the video of Obaseki. On 3 occasions, he have explained, even on a live interview. If you can see the slap that was given to somebody in London, you're supposed to see that one too. Most of you saw the slap, so you're supposed to see what Obaseki said too. Now, when they decided, he now said, okay, you people should come to Benin. A master plan was drawn in Benin. 8 areas were supposed to be designated for tourism in Benin, even forests in Benin Ring Road there, which this APC government are not telling you guys. This phase they just built, that is the first phase of MOA. They told us that the museum is going to cost 4.1 billion. That the Edo government has paid up to 3.9 billion. That's what they said. You know what is going on in Edo State? Is self, how do I call it? Self-desire, money. It's just money. This MOA has proven to me that most Benin people or most people in power in Benin are not interested in the development of Edo, but they are interested in their own self-enrichment of their self and their family. Okay, those supporting this nonsense, you understand? So, when all this story was going on, COVID-19 entered, and there were a lot of discussion going on. According to Obaseki, he said, when the initiative of this MOA comes to that, okay, Benin will create a hub where you study archaeology, like a laboratory, a tourist center, a lot of things. Apart from just displaying museum, they were not even much interested about artifacts stored in MOA. They wanted to make, since Benin has a very strong culture, they wanted to make that place a tourist center for where traditional issues or things are being done in West Africa as one of the oldest and greatest empire days back in Nigeria. But unfortunately, according to him, I was not there. He said he now even questioned when they were going to do budget for agriculture, for culture and arts. They requested for them to bring their proposal of the Benin Royal Museum. He mentioned name. His personal aide at that time, he said, the chief of staff, Sarajo said we should ask him. So those lions and the tiger in Benin should ask whether Obaseki lied of what he said. He said none of this plan proposal was brought. Apart from that, he said, when these people brought this proposal and said, look, they want to do this in Benin, he said, look, no problem. This is a bigger face. The land that's supposed to build Benin Royal Museum is still there. It's still there till tomorrow. So he goes, okay, since people have brought your proposal, the government will do this for you. How did this thing help the Benin people? They said it's going to create about 25,000 jobs in within the duration of 5 years of opening the museum. Now, in their thought, this was not from Obaseki. This was from those who were board of trustees. He said, look, for this to be very, very transparent, the Oyibo want to see that where they are putting their money is transparent, honesty, and diligently. He made federal government trustee, one person to represent federal government to be a trustee, state government have a trustee. Then he saw that Baba is very busy. Then he took his first son and said, look, we want people to make a trustee. Take a letter. Take a letter. I am telling you, I won't say anybody's lying. I have no right to say so, but I will use one instance to give you an example. No prince, no first son of Oba, but even my own son cannot take decisions on my behalf without my consent. Okay, so if he does so, that issue will be a thing to be looked into in the nearest future. Okay, but for me, this was a statement made in the public that he went and a consent was given to make him a trustee as an eye opener of the palace in Moa, not Benin Royal Museum. The conflict now is that many people speculate that money being contributed to MOA was directed to build a place to house the artifact, which was not true. When Obaseki was asked, how did the name change from Imowa to MOA? He said he was not in the committee. But when we now get to ask the chairman and some of the board of the trustees, they said, to attract more larger contribution worldwide, they needed to remove that Edo out of it, not to make it look something ethnicity, regional, or one place. It's already in Benin. Okay, that's a benefit for us. Workers is going to be from people Benin if they want to work. He said, but I said, look, let's make it open, more wider, West Africa, not even Nigeria, West Africa. So that everybody from Ivory Coast, from Senegal, will be interested to exhibit their art over there in Benin City. People will bring their intelligence from their place and keep it in Benin. People will come in. Hotels will be busy. Uber will be busy, or what they call it. Restaurant will be busy. And a lot of job. Direct and indirect job, they say 25,000 in 5 years. seem to be proven. Because the reason why I'm so annoyed that I came out today to air my view today is because enough should be enough. We are bigger than this in Edo State. Since we start having the list of us controlling the state, Edo, they said, is shining. In their house, Edo is shining. That one, you can't dispute that. In their personal joint where they eat and drink, you see a war and drink big stuff, Edo is shining. In their luxury cars, Edo is shining. In the purse of their side chick and their girlfriend, Edo is shining. But generally, Edo is smelling. Let's go on. So this was where he arrived at. They said that's the reason why they changed his name from. And this man, Afegba, they call him, that hungry man, came out on social media and said it was when Obaseki was leaving in 2024. They changed the name from Emowa to Moa, which was not true. It was September 2023 that name was changed and registered in Abuja. The certificate are there online. I don't want to start making research for you guys. Go check it yourself. Although we are bigger than this. Even if your father tells you lie, tell him he's lying. Highest respect him, don't say it in the public. But let him know you are lying. Okay? So I realized that what is going on in Edo is not about Obaseki. That's what you people don't understand. It's about personal interest. Though politically, most guys hate Obaseki for that simple reason. They don't mind destroying all the foundations that will help the common man in Benin. Now, let me take you back again to some issues that took place outside Moa. You also remember that they came up with Osiomo. Now remember, it's your power line. Osiomo was the same thing like Moa. Osiomo was owned by a Benin man. The BTH, they called them this former old NEPA, one Kemi Yoruba woman was in charge. They were not giving lights, but people were paying. Please call me direct. No, don't call me here, please. Call me direct, please. I have my number with me, my WhatsApp, and you can come there. But please, I'm alive now. Hold on, let me finish first, my analysis first, So, this woman was not supplying light. Go and check the video that Obaseki walked them out of his office. When they came, go and listen to what Obaseki said. Hold on. Because I don't like, you might hate him. My reason for liking Obaseki is very clear and very cogent. Don't insult me. Bring out your point. If anybody can support people at this time with all the nonsense we are saying in those states now, so why not get to support Obaseki? If not support this kind of reason that is going on in the state, why should you be blaming support Obaseki? Hold on. I'm coming. Please, can somebody write me the name they are calling them now, this former NEPA in Benin, so that I will put it where you will see it. Juliet, don't call me. I don't understand. So, please, can anybody remember what they call these people that supply lights in Benin, in BTH, I think they call them. What do they call them? Please, if you remember, please just send it to me here. Let me bring out a video for you. I've forgotten the name. I would have just checked it first since before I started. Echo, I've seen it. Don't worry, I've seen it. So before we start talking,
trauma happened when
listen.
Received members of the House of Representatives Committee on Power, led by Daniel Asokwo, who were in Government House on a courtesy visit. The governor was surprised to see the BEDC boss, Mrs. Funke Osibundu, whose name was not on the list of expected guests to Government House, that embedded herself in the National Assembly delegation to gain access to the governor, who has been in darkness alongside millions of Edo State residents for weeks. Speaking to the delegation after Mr. Osibundu has left the gathering, the governor said BEDC has continued to fail in collaboration with the state government to provide stable electricity in the state. Instead, the company has posed
This
as
is
an
not the state I
obstacle
want to
to
listen to,
meeting the goal.
but let's
The
just go
governor
on.
said despite the fact that the state generates about 600 to 700 megawatts of electricity, the people are still in darkness, wondering how he is expected to explain the harrowing explain to the people who are well aware that they produce a substantial amount of electricity in the country.
Yes, as a and even if they don't have respect for their regulators,
Listen,
they do have respect for. We are not in a peacemaking mode. I am not. In fact, I am upset that they are even here because I didn't invite them.
You hear?
I'm actually upset that they are here. So I would rather have a conversation with you, one-on-one, and we finish, but not with them. Okay. Absolutely not with them.
Okay, sir. Can I request an executive session?
Okay. So it's the calendar.
This is where he walked then before he get out of his office because Benin were in darkness. Listen. And yet,
Earlier, Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Power, Daniel Asokwo, said they were in the state for an oversight function on the activities of BEDC and other players in the electricity value chain. Patience Osaogiwa reporting.
now, why did I play this video for you? This thing, after this thing happened, Obaseki said they can't continue using generator that Oshimole was using in Benin for a very long time, giving out contract to his boys and everything for diesel. It was a big business. All of it that was shouting that there was found this thing in Ring Road. There were lights here, we were generating street light with generator. Have you heard that before? Are we living animal farm, animal world? So this man now said, okay, since this Benin man said he can do this, because this Benin guy that owns Osyomo, Obaseki knows him as a banker too, as an international banker who has a lot of links worldwide. Now talk to a China firm and say, look, this is what we want to do. China says, okay, how do we get land? How do we do this? Obaseki said, no problem. I will offer you land. But we won't assist you to start. That's how Osyomo came in. But please promise that you will supply us 5 megawatts, 50 or 5 megawatts, so that we'll be able to supply constant lights to schools, to offices, to big hotels, government establishment, and so on and so forth. Then street lights. They agreed. That is how Osyomo came about. Government agreed to be buying 5 megabytes direct from Osyomo. He did not say he was the owner of Osyomo. But when these hooligans entered power, they continue campaign to the fools in TikTok who never went to school. Because most of these guys are talking TikTok, they came in through Libya by mistake. If it's a prepared document, they cannot even fly. I'm not insulting those who came through Libya. There are graduates who came through Libya too. The majority of these fools we have now, you will see a woman that have never even seen Lagos before in his lifetime, who got pregnant in Benin with 4 children, never even eat he never even eat rice in Benin before, but unfortunately came to Europe here. He will carry ring light and start talking rubbish on social media. So I start to stay clear from them. Once in a while, I bring up my video and let's go on. So when this man came in, because he could not continue paying the bills, Obaseki was chesting. And don't forget, the revenue Edo is getting now is 2 times bigger than what Obaseki was getting to did what he did in his time. That one, we are coming to that aspect. I will also let you know the difference is more than double of what they are receiving now in Edo State. You said he did flyover. He borrowed 100 billion for that flyover from Chinese, from China to build flyover. He borrowed 500 billion. Forgot how much 60 billion that was left in the account when he came. Right? And money that they are giving to them now is almost 3 times what Obaseki was getting. That's Osyomo. Clear. For those of you who don't understand Osyomo, I just had to let you know that Obaseki never told us one day that he built Osyomo with government money. He have already been saying government don't do business. They create environment for business to strive in their state or in their city. Those who that live in abroad, they should learn. Let anybody come out here and tell me how many companies a British government established in Britain or in United Kingdom. Let them come out and tell me how many companies this German company operates as a federal government or as a state government in Germany. None. None. Even refuge collector, they contract it out. The functions of government is to give enable environment for things to strive in his country or in his state. That's one. Osyomo. Later, the other Radisson Hotel, I don't say it was abandoned. I used to call it Sheraton that was not completed many years ago. Then the government, I think they bought it with about 3 billion, I think, kind of like that, from the of that uncompleted building. They gave it out to Radisson. So please, we are building this museum now. White men will be start coming here all over the world. They need a standard hotel to stay, and it's very close. Don't forget that this is among the 8 agenda they have concerning MOA. Forest, event center, and one other thing like that. The map is on social media. I want to check it out. It's about 8 or 12. Even the Benin Royal Museum was included among the plan. They also came and said they want to investigate. The government spends so million in Radisson Hotel. They started disturbing us with that. Okay. Now, my question to everybody in Edo is that not be this man tell us saying go Glasgow, go secured 250 million contracts or investment in Edo State. How many of these men and women has questioned Okpebolo? So because of your enemy, you want to blind your eye. Forgetting that when you blind your eye, you will not use, you can't even see your close friends. They refuse to pass Okpebolo. What is 250 million? Even when we came out on social media to tell you it's a scam, the Benin were not interested. As far as not Obaseki that did it, is a blessing to them. So my conclusion on this of MOA issue is that why am I annoyed of MOA? Let me revise back. I'm not annoyed because the government want to investigate how dealings took place for MOA. But it could have been done a year ago. Why now? Why 2 days to the opening of MOA? That's my big 1 million question I'm asking the government. Now, people claiming ownership and diverting of contracts and theft or betrayal. Why did they wait 1 year to the opening of MOA? 1 year. MOA has been under construction for the past 3 or 4 years. Now it dare to be open, 3-4 days to be open. When diplomats were here, then the state governor came out in the open that he's not aware. And the German diplomat were just looking at him. Letters are on. It's on the wall. Go and check it. It's on media. No government will send this word. They say they talk. How can EU ambassador, a man that represents 29 countries, no, 27 countries, all these countries are bigger than Nigeria in terms of Egunje. These 27 countries, your brothers and sisters are struggling, cleaning yash, cleaning hotel, sweeping road, carrying dirty like us. To send you money back home in Nigeria, you have your infantry. Let's forget about the slave trade. Because even though a black do that slave trade, we foresee they want to go to will not leave the job. If black men was to be powerful like the whites many years ago, when they used us as slaves, we for not give up that trade as a give up. Today, a Muslim man can win election in America. A Muslim man can win election in England. A Nigerian woman can be a leader of one of the biggest party in the United Kingdom. Wow, where? Can a Ghana man? Not be we the fight of ourselves. Hausa man come Benin, if you build any place will be like this, you say you want people palace for Benin, we're not going to fight. Yoruba will go, not going to fight. Benin will go outside, they're going to fight. What the white man has left, has condoned, that's the power they languish and the equality they try to build between us. Blacks can't do it. If you like, don't believe me. I know they've done a lot of stupid havoc in time to pass. But the way they live and relinquishes power, if black man get that power, if you want to know, look at your presidency, your leadership, how somebody want to die in power, even though evidence is clear that he's a criminal. If you accuse a white man of cheating cheating on his wife as a minister, he will resign. How did French president gone before this man came here? This guy came, Sarkozy came in, that is in power now. They caught him with a helmet, Vespa, sneaking into another woman's house. Do you know how many people were disqualified in the American election because years back he was drunk and Kennedy brother, Jeff Kennedy brother, who drove a car into the swamp, escaped and left the girlfriend to drown in the water and died. That was his sin. You understand? So, things that happen in abroad, if it happen in Nigeria, we're not going to accept them. That's one. Now, a letter was written to the federal government. German government, EU cannot deal with the state directly. That's the point. They are coming to the territory, and the territory is owned by the federal government. Edo State has no borderline in Nigeria. The borders you see, the borders that are recognized internationally are the Nigerian border, not the state border. State is internal. A letter was written. They even quoted the plane they are using to Benin. My question is, who gave them SSS agents to guard MOA? If the state said they are not aware, who gave them security to guard them there? Who picked them from the airport without police? Or do you just order police from the barrack or anywhere without the commissioner of police not knowing? The same commissioner of police who went there that day to do that shenanigan in MOA. Now, that's to tell you why Benin not asking Webulu, give us evidence. But we have evidence that they wrote the Federal Ministry of Art and Culture that they are coming. Air Peace Kinetic, the flight number was there. The returning flight was there. Anyway, let's leave that. They are not asking. As far as everything is about Obaseki, let's go on. That is that up to today, Benin's or Edo's are not asking these fundamental questions. Now, let me go back to the issue of about Obaseki. Yes, in this echo. Sorry, I have a very low internet. In short, my internet is bad. I'm using hotspot. Okay, so let me go back to this about Obaseki. I first told you that the fear of about Obaseki is the beginning of wisdom to some of them in Benin. I don't see any reason why people will be concerned about one particular person if the person is not really shaking your mind or is not saying the truth, or it's not saying things that people, he knows more far better than people don't even know. Because I don't see Obaseki being relevant in a big organization like a Edo State government establishment if there are men and women who are very powerful in the state representing the government. If you go to TV house, Shadrach, who is not a professor, who has never been in government for 40 years, he's a very young guy, should be around 40-something years of age. I've never seen anybody, SSAO, the brilliant men they have in governor's house cannot represent APC in television. All you just need to do is to go and check. With all those evidence brought to us about the scamming or 250 million investment, none of you, these hooligans, Tiger, are asking questions. Now, let's go back to Abat again. So, if Abat is saying things that are not good, I'm not in support, believe me honestly. I don't like young ones that when they are criticizing, they make some expensive utterances. If he has done so, there are channels you pass through. In a democratic society, there are channels you pass through to allow due process to play. Because all what you are doing, that it shows that the election people did not win. You grab it, you force us to be there. In Edo State, I witnessed so many times Obaseki was drawn to goats. He said, go to you, he said, go to you, none of you did not move freely in Edo State. Because you work here, he took catapults to governor's house to threaten Governor Obaseki to come out. I'm in your house now. Come out, Obaseki. I'm in your house. You both remember, did Obaseki do anything to him? No. Why are we not able to speak now against Okpebolo? Why are they trying to make Nigeria a one-party system in Nigeria? Now, lastly, if Obaseki has said anything that you felt it is not good, Monkey Face has done worse than that. That one is just directly insulting his father. Okay. But a lot of havoc that this government has done. This is a government that they created law in the House of Assembly that when you are found guilty of courtesan or it belongs to kidnapping or whatever, your house will be destroyed. Your house. Let the print paper come out. Now, If somebody is in a tenant in a house that I built, I live in overseas, the house was given to him by agents. There are people who are pastors who are armed robbers. There are people who are bankers who are thieves only. And there are people who's a teacher who's also a kidnapper. So if he presents his document that I teach in Ida College or Edo College, or I'm a lecturer in Unibe, with documents, pay slip, I gave him a house. He's not the owner of the house. And you caught him in the midst, they confess him. He just want to confess. No judge has condemned anybody as cultist or kidnapper that those houses that were destroyed. No one single case. No one single case. Okay. You want to go and destroy houses that does not belong to the person that who kidnapped somebody. And it was not even a judge that asked you to do that. Now, what is the difference between the house that Obaseki destroyed and the one Bewele is destroying now? Why are people not talking? If you want to talk, oh, governor, come to our aid, I beg our governor, my able governor. Stomach infrastructures. Now, when Obat was doing these things, like he was knocking the hammer in the head of Bewele. They were now uncomfortable with about this guagua in UK. Then let me reveal it to everybody today now. When Governor Obaseki came to Italy, I didn't see him. He didn't come to my city because a tree cannot make a forest. Okay, I live in a very small city. I've been saying this every day on social media here. I don't live in major cities in Italy. I don't like crowd areas. That's the reason why I don't like Lagos too. I live in Ravenna, a very small city. He went to Torino and went to Rome. But the only thing I told about that I was not happy about was that men and women who never supported Obaseki were the ones sitting in front of him, hailing him now when he came because they want to eat and drink. I told about it, look, I don't support myself because I like somebody. I don't support you for what I will gain from you. I support you for the basic of humanity, for the progress of my people, for the good job you are doing. I'm just like a left hand who is putting offering in the church. I don't allow my right hand to see. That's the way I do things for people that I like. With all my heart. He now told me, "Pa, which place are you?" I said, "Look, I live in Ravenna." Probably maybe they've seen it in the map. It's a very small place. Doesn't really, you can't create a very big crowd. But I would have been able to do that if I was given the opportunity. But that does not make me hate Obaseki or Abat. He used to be my enemy for a very long time. Not enemy per se. We were on the contrary on issues, you know. I never liked the way he was using arrogance words and being violent, you understand? The way he talks, you understand? Not that he has killed anybody one day in my presence, okay? Now, a man in Manchester called, they give him a different name now, digital slap or double goat. But I could call him Arewele. I want to be respectful to everybody. If I deserve a respect, I also have to give others respect. Mr. Arewele or Master Arewele. Or Mr. I think I saw his song the other day, right? Who live in UK for 20 years. Though it's a very meager number compared to most of us who have lived here for more than that. But the people I hate most in Nigeria are that when they cross the border to abroad, we immediately got their paper and buy this Igwe cap. Maybe they started receiving the first salary. Some of them are living in one room. Some of them just be able to have a mortgage to buy a self-contained, you know. They'll start giving them, they'll give their name, Ogidi Gang one of Belgium. I'm a Miao of Paris, double chief of Manchester, Dinini of this, of Birmingham, and we go one of Netherlands. The names you are giving to yourself, there are people born there. There are Nigerians who studied there, who lectures in the university there, has not given themselves titles. That is why you see people who are learned and very educated and very, very sound mind people don't exaggerate their weight in their body. Wabele Dangote. See all the big ladies in Nigeria who has money. Did you see them dressing arrogantly like that? Or talking here like that? No. Now, people who are now hailing, what pains me most was this man came to where they were gathering, where they were organizing the place in Manchester, and came to her, but I said, "I hear you define me." I said, "No, I don't define you. Now you define me." Before I know what happened, they started, already came with his friends. They started separating about them. Lock the door. Before the police came, issues were settled. You know what paid me most? He came out on social media and said he would do it again and again and again and again. That I've been living in Manchester for the past 20 years. Oh, why you London away? You got it here, but they are not okay. Believe me honestly, most guys and women in UK, that name UK, it is called United Kingdom, but we call it UK, but they are not okay. You just demonstrated what was happening in Italy 26 years ago, where there were a lot of hooligans in Italy. Today, if you want to count where hooligans is, Nigeria's hooligans is now in Europe now, you take France, take Spain, you take UK. For the ladies, you take France, you take Germany. Italy is never choosing third anymore again. It's far, 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 far more decent than most of these countries. You went there to destroy the names of our great-grandfathers who started studying there. Ojuku studied there. At the age of 15, was in Oxford already. We used to know Nigerians who live in UK are students, are graduates, are men with high intelligence. We never knew that he started recruiting hooligans into UK. But let me tell you one thing. Now, for those of you who are clamoring for him, he did it for Edo. He did not do it for Edo. That slap, that man slapped, that was not the true story. I found out that they were in the same WhatsApp group where he was accusing the governor of destroying his property in Nigeria, in Benin. And he said that he come to Manchester, he will ask him why did he destroy his property. Jesus Christ. How many questions will people ask when they leave office? How many houses of people have destroyed in Nigeria? No reason whatsoever is sufficient enough to do that, what he's doing. But let's go on. That was number one reason why that man was removed. They said about insulted him and removed him from the chat group. These are facts. If I'm lying, first check me. Ask anybody. Go verify. You understand? We're not talking to no. Then, that is how he said also he was throwing him to the palace. Let me not lie. He was throwing him to the palace. But the main objective was the house that was destroyed. That brother or that boy did not fight the fight of the palace or the fight of the Benin. He fought his fights. You understand? Then what shocked me most was that people started calling him on video calls telling him to come to Benin for an award. I saw one strange face there. A general of my friend who I lost so much before, but seeing you associated with such people like that, it means that's not the way. We cannot make the same mistakes at the same time as an entity or as an ethnic group or tribe. He came to Benin, he was received by Tony Kabaka. They gave the name now to Digital Slap. From there, he was taken to one bar like that. They give him a award. Even, I think they say SSA to the governor or whatever, also gave him 1 million. And it was all televised. But my advice to you guys is that all of now when you face appear for all this illegality, while I will go, how will be handle? How will be handle? When you were sharing fufu for family meeting, this one became when you know this shit. Because everything what you done before, what you tell itself, now sleep and go sleep. Now lie. Person when you see money baby, will say beer the bitter. Now lie. If your president cannot stay in Nigeria for 2 months without visiting abroad for medical checkup, this is a president that have all the means financially, capacity, influence, connection to get the best hospital in Africa, yet he flees to abroad. All of my picture, I don't even know a secret to now. Big secret. They might give you visa. Giovanni, long time. They might give you visa to come to abroad. Wawa, Tore, Ikmia. Commissioner Aero, no remember? I spoke about him before. All of them when you face appear. But what is the UK that be? Not Nigeria. You see, anybody fighting for people or for anybody should be very careful of the way you speak on the issue. That now it is in Sarah Reporter now. So Sarah Reporter said, let me tell you what Sarah Reporter wrote about our state concerning the slap on the talk. Sarah Reporter, hold on, let me show you guys so people will understand exactly what is going on. Sarah Reporter. Because sometimes we must be very, very careful of what we do in Nigeria. or in Edo State. I've always been saying it. You went, took picture, placed it on social media. You don't have a private conversation with this man. You don't do anything secretly. You came out to destroy yourself. Hold on, let me show you. I think I read it to Sarah Reporter. Sarah, they threw away news to you born on just on they don't reach this time. I'm gonna wait. You took picture with him and you are serving under an existing and illegal government in Edo State. And you said the slap is called digital slap. What Sarah Reporter said that one come out, they said Edo State government employees, APC people in Edo State are applauding an hooligan that slapped a man because he was a critic of the government and gave him 1 million naira. Sarah Reporter, not believe with the reader for UK, the reader for Italy, the reader for General America, or my Nini. You see, apart from the consequences of those who rewarded this guy in Benin, let's talk about this guy himself. 20 years is not forever. You spend 20 years in UK, you are a baby in UK. In short, the first meeting that I went to in UK took place in 2004, a donation meeting in Manchester that I participated in. At that time, you were still hustling in the moat in 30 secular smoking Morocco. Looking your face alone shows the arrogancy in you physically. The arrogancy, and these are the people being demonstrated, taking picture in a government house in Osadebe, a house that was built on the name of people who saw sweat, labor for our freedom in Nigeria. It's now becoming the one they used to do caricature in Edo State, and everybody said everything is okay in as Obaseki and Waboeware, according to now. Let me tell you one thing. Time will come, but I so why Obaseki yo or I deity. A time will come, Obaseki will be a deity. I pray he live long. If that man died old, you see, go and mark me. Just as we people are now regretting Abu Salih, you will regret it. I've been saying it in my previous video. You came to power, you destroyed the e-government plan. You destroyed the platform that used to collect money in Edo State. You destroyed Osiomo plan to supply us light in Edo State. You suspended MOA on your mandate will stand. But these fools were there when the Yaloja came to Benin. Till tomorrow she's still the Yaloja of Benin. What did you do? You kept quiet. Few microscopical few of those. Microscopical few of those that went outside to say, to make noise. At the end of the day, the woman came to the palace and he was addressed as the leader of the market women in Edo State. Close, a case closed. These are people that left the forest. They left the forest. They came to an abandoned farmland of 10 years to be making noise. If you are a soldier, you sign to go to Sabisa Forest, not checking points along Lagos Road. You understand? So, my coming out today is just to let the Benin know that, you see, if it happened to me, I go visit Waka, deal with that guy much more about. Apart from saying about, when you knew an ex-governor was coming to the scene, you came with dogs in UK, Manchester. No be Benin, they don't rush you. You can run. See, in Italy, case they last 40 years. Just a payment police know enter your body. And for those of you who think they have red passport in abroad here, that they can do or not do, you are a liar. You are a liar. I don't get passport when I started sitting down with the mayor of my city 20 years ago. The intelligence. Sometimes when you have passport and you become a woman, they will collect it from you, ask you to start from square one again. I have seen a Senegal man with 5 children in this country that was deported because he mixed off all trances that their effort was against their security in this country. When the wife make noise, they carry the wife with the 4 children, 5 children, boom, for the car. Half caste children. You need to learn. You need to learn. Red passport does not qualify you a natural citizen. It's by naturalization. That is, you met some category, decide to grant you, just like a loan. Red passport, na loan. Blue passport, I don't know, but na loan. When terrorists, this thing happened that day. Why America not allowed those who will be France or Germany, everything, different passport? Why they not allow them? But if you are a pure Italian born here, or a pure British born here, you might go to jail. Double chief, you might be returned back to Nigeria if you don't take time. This, you are playing with a man that is a multi-millionaire that has links all over internationally. Obaseki, a maton. You went to the conference, you know, a booby or how, you know, you do it again. My brother, that was why the fight of about Benin. I am telling you, we are doing it. If the other want to deal with you, you know how to deal with you. If the other want to deal with that bat, don't give, but you not deal with and I mean, when you hear the boots in Manchester, we hear the Benin, who have the fear of our tradition. But the same you, Anisha man, did you watch the video? Your Enogis, Enogis initial said that they don't pass that level when believe they break color before us. Say they are not that are nonsense. Why you not go slap your Enogi? Why you not go slap your Enogis? There's one madman Okoji, they call him, who when they round, say, short, they are the real owner of Edo, not the Benins. And you want to show, want to play tricks on us that are fighting for us. And Mr. Man, and your brother said, we are not the real Benins. Why you don't beat Okoji? May I give you your address? So anybody clamoring for you now, they should be ready to pay the consequences. The case that we took against Monkey Face in Germany cost almost 16,000 euro. As I was over, the last money brought from the palace was 13,000 euro cash. Monkey Face is still talking. When people started insulting me, I rest my case. I rest my case. Because people called me Ogyomba Vabene because I supported Asmani Wodaro. So in politics, it's on B level now. I have seen a house where a father will be PDP. Let me use instance, my city here. The father will be PD, the son will be Forza Italia, the other will be Chico Steli. In my palazzo here, we were arguing that day. 5 people in the same house with different parties and their mother, husband, and children. So because majority of the Edos are in support of Okpebolo, me I should also support Okpebolo. I won't do that. I have the liberty to make choice. In as far as I don't insult my tradition or insult my elders. But I have the right to associate freely. Anybody I want to associate with it. So finally, why I came here today is to let the Edos knows that those of you that took picture with double goat, people should be very mindful, be very watchful. If they give you visa, no go. I they tell you, you will face prosecution. I did tell you now. All of them when you go Moa, they complain there. All these people they don't translate them. Make I let you know now. I know they have my own. That video, everything when I talk inside the video was translated in English, in Dutch. It's already in archive. So that boy when they say go talk it that when they say you go, you when they beat the ringleader. Be watchful. Once they give you visa, even if they still get valid visa now, walawa, you are gone. You understand? Ero no believe in I. Let me share this small story with you guys. Commissioner Ero for Art and Culture was going for a meeting regarding this Mowa issue that time. Before that, he came to Italy here. He was in lodge in Bologna. Two of my friends were among those who went there as his old pally on level. You understand? They were visiting him there in the hotel, trooping. And those guys has already been monitored by the Italian police because of what they belong to and who they are. Don't forget that cultism in Italy, it is not a joke. If anybody report to you and they clue evidence, it takes 2 years. They are very patient. There are many social bloggers and social media, TikTok people when they talk rubbish, when they are investigating now. They say they make noise now, give them 3 years, 2 years. Or you know they rush for that thing, you go cash out. So, Edo was in that hotel, and they were monitoring everybody that was coming to come and greet him there. When he's escorting them, hey, they're the hell. So the Oibo believes in that this one might be their couple. Whereas he came in as somebody who's not in government, who have money, wanted to flex with his friends, and left to Nigeria. They did not owe him. When he was coming back, by Italian and now France people. France have been all on the cash out. Now they tell us, okay, Italy they find you. After 3-4 days there, it was extradited to Italy. I spent almost 2 years in prison. Governor Obaseki couldn't release him. How much more people that cannot pronounce ABCD? So, all of you that have wasted their time in fighting a war that you guys will not win. What paid me most was the inquiry people set up. First, they will announce that Oshomole is the chairman for the committee. All of a sudden, he went to the House of Assembly. And the House of Assembly, they call it the GS director. What it concern GS concern more? If they give it, the government give us a land, GS not to approve. See of who. Survey and do everything finish. At the end of the day, you are still calling Mowa again. Mowa lawyer went there because he was invited less than 24 hours to the invitation, so he was not fully prepared to respond to them. So I told them for the next meeting he will come. Before he called the next meeting, another chief in the palace there took the case to High Court in Benin. So they now said, they cannot be speaking on issues that's already in the court. So now, 200 and something people employed in Mowa now, they have lost their job. Job right is gone from Benin. Because there's no constant light any longer. When I did in the hotel 2-3 years ago for Nigeria, I don't hear what makes me run away from the house or because of that. Generator. So anybody coming out today to say you are the enemy of the Benin, you are the enemy of the Benin. But why is it that is the list of all Benins in social media that represent and defend Ogbebulu? If you check their profile, all of them are daft, dormant. So, are we zombie? Zombie, oh, zombie. Tell them to go kill. Aja, Joe. Tell them to go rob. Aja, Joe. So, most of you here, because of the dignity of your culture and everything, someone can even order you to kill your father, you will do that. For your loyalty's sake. Abi, you are not like Jaren Tenebe, who said, their car not get jar. Now, so straight they go. You not get brake, you not get jar. You don't even get sense, the car when they drive. And these are people, set of people, that you place 5.6 million population in their hands. Men and women who say they have the car they are driving has no jar, it's not even automatic, and they have no brake. So if that car is supposed to beat over here, going over slope, how many people will he kill before you get brake? Jesus Christ. Because sometimes I wonder, and some of my sisters in Italy here, and brothers in Italy here, are celebrating double goods for what he does. He has every right to channel his case legally. But being a mixcraft, exhibiting your hooliganism in the public was so disappointing. So disappointed that I imagine. But that's a fact. That's a fact, my brother. You see, every time I come here, I try to explain to the Beninese. The young folks are the one making noise, bros. Listen, I told my story before. I said I voted during Oyegu as governor. That was my last election I witnessed in Benin if I left to abroad. Right? I was not 18 when Abrusali won election. But thank God to Abrusali makes to me so rest in power peace. If my brother Patrick, if not be Abrusali, this English you are hearing now that you think I'm a professor or whatever, no. I got it in free education 4 years. When I was promoted to class 5, Ali left power. Bros, I almost used left Waka from Sulu Market to Nepa, Saturday Market, to go to draw money for school fees because I was not doing again. I know I made my simple school for that go to university because there was no money. My mother was alone for 5 children, only her. So, if not Ali was killing cow for us to eat. Bible, pen, up to Bible, I got it free of charge. And yet, when that man was contesting for the second tenure, who did he have problem with? But we know what he Benin do. He lost every constituency in Benin to Bemudia. And I continue telling you guys that Bemudia, he cannot choose where Ali choose in terms of progress and development to a Benin state. Because during Bemudia, road when they cut for Benin, he not reach 36. I go count for now. Inside of there, Plymouth, Hackman, a Kenwa, he get where he reach. Airport road, and die, airport, night die. Saple road, now that's a market there, night die. And they tell you now, second road, okay, up and day. Second, first, third, okay. Mission road, Akbaba, Downsing, Abba Market road to Siloko road, there for Ogida. Texami road was not even there. I am from Uselu. I am telling you, New Lagos road, he died that time. He shot na Kenu to the person. Okoro was not existing. I did be when they construct Okoro. Medical store, I did when they do medical store. So, Ogbemudia put traffic light for Osaka School Junction. He put traffic light for we again. I don't forget exactly what they call it. Near Baba side, that side, I forget the place where put, These are the places that Bermuda did. Mona tell me the school when Bermuda built for Benin. Indian College was existing before he came. Edo College was existing before he came. ICC was existing before he came. It was a grammar school, was called Anglican Grammar School. It was existing before Bermuda came. Adola was existing before he came. After Bermuda time, Abrusali created 236, 246 schools. Even money, and if he said he want to see all the adults being educated, even have a look in your school. All these small Igbo and speak so now. If you give me a book like I can read, I can write. I'll not be zombie. This is how I got to. But when we did the election, he lose woefully. Bermuda enter, boom, overthrow. You understand? So this is how we have been suffering in Nigeria. This man went to jail. 80,000 naira. He up here. More than 16,000 laborers were working for 3 months. 80,000 couldn't complete. The OSN land, nobody could raise 80,000. Body no gain. They couldn't even raise 80,000 naira. I'm saying things that I know. So if this man was corrupt as claimed by the Benin people or claimed by the Nigerian people, why could he not be able to raise 80,000 naira to free himself from Kuje? Esa mono tori maga took Ukada air to go and bring him, pay 80,000. His eyes was almost dead when he was released. In 6 months later, Abdulali fell down and died. That house you see in Esala was built by the government. Safari, Oyo. I encountered him once. when my late elder sister, who's married to the chief editor of Daily Times that time, Solomon didn't get retired now, when Epa Ewa II was a Henede prince, crown prince at that time for the opening of New Nigeria Bank. I still have the pictures with me. So today, there's nothing you will tell me. But I also believe the second part of the story that most of these atrocities taking place in Benin, our father is not aware of it most of the time. So this is a man, a father that I have sat with in the same sitting room. The way he speaks so eloquently. We discussed with him for more than 2-3 hours. He never wrote anything down. But he started answering the questions from the beginning to the end. I said, look, wow, Benin has embraced, I've seen a king that will modernize Edo for a better place. He came after his coronation and told us that we need to be learning Edo in schools. What have we not done? That was the year. We Edo community here raised 16,000 euro about chairs in 3 primary schools in Ego. If I see this riffers that talk rubbish on social media, that have not contributed a dime to the upliftment of Edo or Benin City or our kingdom, I am ashamed. Kotitubo, who was in same WhatsApp with me, fell out with me, threatening me to come and kill me in abroad because I did not allow him to be to handle issues about money in the WhatsApp group. So anytime you go to TikTok, you stay in any place and say, Unda, okay, there's one woman they call Yeboy, they call her. That should be around his late 60s now. Those are professional OPO that was frustrated in Italy. You understand? Somebody was talking something very, very dangerous about our governor that Obaseki went to the north to organize people to be insulting our royal father. It was in a platform of one woman like that. They were saying, Yeboy came later to that place there. With one useless man they call it honorable, that was a criminal in Opa before. They came there. I said, my sister, this thing you are saying is not true. Where did you read it? Where did you see it? Give me one statement that was made by the former governor on social media, by telephone, by WhatsApp group or whatever, that was detriment to the royal house. No one. Show me. I dare anybody to show it. You might say actions. His actions, yeah, as a governor, is there to serve everybody, not one particular person. So sometimes you make decisions that will cost you so many pains, but it will give happiness to multitude. That's what makes to be a leader. That's what makes you a true leader. That's what makes you a potential leader. And I repeat again, I wrote it in many places in my word. I say, look, double chief, I be double good. That thing will cost you a lot in UK. Except Abba did not know his left to right. Except Abba did not know he left to right. I want to share one simple case with you. 6-7 years ago, or 7 years ago, I need to have a lot of boys that look onto me as a father, you know. So I took them to Merabilandia to do some odd jobs, while my friend who was an agent to employ people were telling me that he will need about 25 or 30 persons to employ. At the same time, I have one of the biggest firms in Italy here called Machigalia, in my city here. I'm going to reveal this today for people to understand how things functions in Italy. So the closest people to me, I was taking them to work. I assisted them. The first batch went into the 10 of them. Then later, people were now coming to meet me. They were say when Nigerians are very, very good in hearing what is happening. They said they take me for so. So if they don't call you, they'll come meet me for us. Okay, give me your name. I'll write your name. I'll call the person. I beg any next chance, call this guy. That is how almost 20 of them, 19 of them entered that place there. I was also working there. If they have any issue, they'll come and complain to me. I'll tell them what to do, because we are all Nigerians. Not knowing that 2 or 3 of them there were leaking what I was telling them to my direct. The man that trusted me. They were telling everything. They showed me their booster pack and their pay slip. I said, this place is wrong. Blah, blah. Even when they suspect some of them, I will plead. But not knowing. A Ghana man, I told me, say, look, you don't have brothers here. Now let me leave that. So there were some people who were outside. They had not been called into this group. That I would just spend about 1 year and 7 months in the work. But they said with time, they'll be taking more persons, you know. So before they employ everybody, they ask them to go and do a course that cost them €190. I didn't pay for the course. The course is to drive glue because everything there is glue. You use glue to move all the things we move there. The least is 20,000 kilo, 15,000 kilo. So very heavy iron steels, So one of these young fools were among those who paid that money through me too. Although he didn't give me the money, I directed him to the agent. He paid to the agent and he got his certificate. You understand? He got his certificate. So after some time, they did not call him. He now got a job somewhere else and he was now asking for a refund of his money. I said, the money you paid was for the course you did and you have the certificate with you. And that's all. If you cannot wait for your turn to, then that's all. When he met me in a bar, in a gathering like that, some years back, this happened about 2-3 years ago. Happened in a bar, they have some, you say these boys, when they do what they do, they don't fear anybody, especially when they don't hire. Just came to meet me, say, hey, pa, you want to see me? I thought as normally people excuse me out in the public and want to see me or ask me questions. Now I go meet them. Before I noticed that happened, 2 other boys don't come. Luckily, there was a lady called Lioness. She's a singer, an artist in Rovigo. I brought her to that group that night and she was with me. She just came out, followed me out. And my son was also with me that very day. I'm saying this thing so that you will know that it's not a lie. He was not telling, hey, bros, here's the other guy said, bros, here's you collect €190 for this guy. As the guy don't see that work again, I accompany the door come out now. That's why I said to the other guy that day when he want to look for work, he was talking rubbish. I said, what is going on? He said, let me not take time, I go stop my breathing. You know what it means to stop somebody's being breathing, Abi? You not breathe again, When he used that statement, so I went, I know those guys were begging me, Papa, let's go. I entered the car, I moved. I waited for him 2, 3 days, 4 days. He did not call to say it was alcohol. If I say mistake, I beg no verse. I said, okay. I went to the police. My life is being threatened by a young force. And I believe he's in 1 or 2 things that makes him to have that guts. Because before a young man look my face in this city here and tell me you are nobody, you know that person has something bigger than what he thinks I don't have. That's the gospel truth. So the police said, look, he would have advised me not to do it. I should try to settle it because if I do it, it will destroy his life in this place here because of the person I am. So, I said, what do you mean? He said, look, I am telling you, if you make a report against anybody, it will affect that person till he died in this country. I thought it was lying. I said, do it. He did it. I called my lawyer took up the case. So when the guy now went to go and renew his documents, that was the end. One of my lawyer friend like that, who's now the Nigerian vice president now, called me and he paid some bills to the lawyer and I withdrew the case. The paper was released to him. Double goods, I'm just telling you, passport has been withdrawn. I'm a life witness. It has affected me here for more than 4 years. When I exaggerated, exceed my limits. You understand? Driving license have been taken from me. For what other people will do, they will leave them. But for me, they didn't leave me. They take it from me because you're supposed to know the rules and regulations after many years in Italy. So if I were you, open a channel of peace. This is my advice for you. And for those of you who is clamoring for him, I've warned you guys, tear your passport. Just don't even go to Dubai even. The only place you can go, you'll be safe is South Africa, Ghana and the rest. But I not come here. I don't talk. Not me. I don't get time for it, but I don't already know. I don't see. We get intelligent where we're for here. I don't get for Nigeria. That this time around now, many people cancel their flights to Nigeria. And he wants to phone my brother. If no. I'm going to observe this since this man entered power. Sales of house in Benin has tripled. You will see full 4 flat, 50 million. Full 4 flat with land 100 by 100, 50 million. House done cheap like a local for Benin. You know why? People are running away from Benin. Bewolo. Oria no Boria is a bad Oria. Do you understand what I said? Now I speak for you. So Oria no Boria is a bad Oria. Watch very closely. People are swimming from Ohoro River now to Buba in your side. There was once in Ohoro. The most disappointing thing that I see in politics in Nigeria is that all those men and women who were carrying umbrella to cover sun and rain before are now using broom to sweep now in Edo State. Choose your friend. Don't let them choose you. Because when you are suffering it, the one Obaseki is experiencing is this small thing. You see how fans that is welcoming him everywhere he goes. Obaseki come to Ravena City to be closed down. We that live in diaspora know exactly that man mean well for Edo State. So, my last advice for you, open your eye. Because anything you are doing now, it is the benefit, it is what Obaseki did. Because you are just 1 year, you've not done any project, you've not raised any fund, your taxation has reduced, the income we get as a governor has reduced, but it's only the money that has come from Abuja that has increased. You've not created any initiative in Benin. In short, working class has reduced, private sectors have reduced totally. Insecurity has become don't go there. I told another topic entirely. The door is shining inside the bush of kidnappers. Private individuals now are more effective than the police now in Nigeria. Now, God, they wake up last week, they say they withdraw police from VIP. One person get 200 million, only will get 16. 6 policemen with sub rifles with them. They got 1 person. Just calculator now, e-money, Obi Cubana Chief, Davido, Whiskey. I don't think they pass 1,000 for Lagos every day. They guide 4 police and they guide them. They go leave a whole entire village empty. You go reach police office for Benin, they go ask you to bring full car and barrel. If you not get us, bring money, they go type your statement for private place come. I've been at your embassy, you want to go here, so you know even say frown go blow you. How much more easy? If you are a woman, you can't even sit in the toilet in any embassies in Europe here. Edo is shining. Edo is shining. And this woman that was contesting as Labour, who wanted to be a Labour Party governor, who went to school in UK with a very high esteem, we were looking at her before, came to Arise News to start lying with double mouth for us. We think we are fools. My fellow Nigerians, the Benin did not buy what you are seeing now. We didn't order for this government, and we did not vote for him. We are more than this, we are bigger than this. We are intelligent, we are civil people, we are democratic in Edo. We know what we want. We are very distinct ethnicity. We don't misbehave, but nobody march on our rights. We channel our cases rightly in the right direction. We take actions by the approval of our elders collectively. That's how we make decisions in Edo. Those days, if you ever is speaking, after finishing, say, Edo you say yes. Meaning, he's asking if it is approved by the people. Okay. I'm not surprised at what I'm hearing now in Benin City. People are afraid to come to Benin because they don't know. Either you convert to become a PC or don't come to Benin. People renew their visit this year. People who are coming, are those who are coming for marriage, who are coming for traditional rights and stuff like that. Most people has distinguished their visit to Benin. Some of them stop in Lagos. I have 6 friends now that are tickets in just Lagos. If you think I'm lying, if you have $25,000 that you can borrow for, but you won't buy for flat in Benin, it's not a joke. And that money will not buy you a self-contained in Asaba. Don't worry. But today, Benin has become a place of low life. Land grabbing has come to power again. In every verifications, land grabbing has come to power. And they say this man is fighting courtesy. This thing. And these are the guys that are doing it in his government. I've never seen where government appoint people who are drivers. You appoint park drivers as government officials in your state house. House that was built with the name of men and women who suffered. Read with lamp, with candle, all their years. Got scholarship to our overseas. Seek for our independence. And lands and houses, streets were named after them. And they are now being, you allowed the riffraff to encroach on those lands and houses that men and women fought for our independence. It's a pity. I'm highly disappointed when I see words that came out from people who say they are learned, or in the name of money. Or in the name of money. Once again, shout out to Isibo. Shout out to Shedrack. These two guys are the only opposition we now have now in Edo State. Not even as when he's talking. They are afraid. They are afraid. PDP is dead in Edo State. But God is more than you guys. That is not the beauty of politics. Thank you, Sister Grace. That is not the beauty of politics. In the city that I live here today now, immediately they are doing election. You see the Sindako is not the president of the region now. When he was a Sindako, it's not joke. He comes to my house, he told me, "Bell. Every day, my wife will tell Luko, you want to work, it's okay." You know why he's coming? He knows that Nigerians have passport here that are more than 56. Because you don't sell vote here, you don't buy vote here, you ask, you beg for it. You prove that you deserve it. So you have to convince those voting for you to vote for you. The trick has to house. See, nobody that cannot receive letter of campaign before the election in my city here. When I think about what people that don't know us, people who took us like slaves before, people who think we are animals before, if I see the programs they've done for us for the past 3 decades that I'm living here, you will understand that if black man were in that position, they won't do it. I continue saying it. Just of recent, seeing the multitude numbers of Nigerians living here who are finding it difficult to get equipped with the language very well to pass the driving school theory. The government called me. The council here called me. I spoke to the president. I said, look at what they told me. Oh. They said they want to help us to sponsor driving schools. As I'm talking to you now, they've accepted 33 persons to start these 2 classes. Can already local government do that? The already local government cannot even patch their own window. AC in already local government office is not working. People continue coming out social media saying Obaseki did not do anything in those states. Oh God, Jesus Christ. Do you even know what it means by foundation? Foundation. But we should build on it. If you see hospital where we will close, but Senapasa hospital where it close, if you see equipment that is there, when this man close, go start to do foundation for Obiaja. Fine, it's our agenda, but at least stop doing propaganda saying he destroyed hospital in Central Hospital to go and build museum. Did they not shift the hospital to Salabasajo? It remained the administrative block. Finish it. Finish it. Because there's a parable. I'm leaving with this parable today now. Anybody when he lose his papa and he hears people the Holy Father money, he know you sense they draw the money. He will go jump the way papa the whole when big past the one the way papa. No me the parable. Onira wu onira fija no yo wi bale gbe ya so sanira se ayoto o maru enwe o ya de konira ma usanu so ni yen do are me bewolo do your own. Bewolo do your own. You see, let me tell you one thing there. I'm saying it with my open mind. Some people did not vote for you. There are some of them that voted for you, fine, but this power you have today was given to you in a platter of gold by Obaseki. I stand and say it. Tell me one governor that said this time around power must shift to Central to say by Obaseki. And now when you even contested, they did not vote for you. Some of them vote, but as when got more votes than you in your own place. Now I don't vote for you. So be very careful. Do your own. If you listen to this sycophants, It doesn't mean you have to be a professor or you have to be a master degree holder to be able to be a governor. Fine, I believe that. But sometimes if you cannot speak, allow people to speak for you. Do your action. You are telling Akbabio to bring Obaseki to come and answer questions. You don't even have anything in your hand. And some foolish boys start saying, why the Obaseki not left? Why did he not hand over to Okpebolo? Obaseki, there's a video on YouTube that he said, all the plans of handover, he did not receive any invitation. He did not receive any invitation from the party that won. He said it. Nobody told him what is going on. You subtracted the man, so you wanted him to wait to listen to your nonsense. He's lecturing in 2 countries, UK and in America. If you leave power now, you be doing boy, follow Babio and the rest of the Oshomole. The man that made Edo to be useless today. When I say, now they are saying Philippine Acho can't be the chairman of MOA. Why? When he was campaigning, looking for money from all places, you see the way Martin speak. You just say the people that we are mugu. For me to put my wife for position where she don't know how to do anything, I will go rent expatriate for Ansalam, put for them. When I wake up, I live with them because I brought my picking room till they do what I do, so they make mess for the city room. So I'm leaving you. I'll be coming back again because I want to start again now because you talk, you go die. You not talk, you go die too. But one thing I want to make everybody clear here today, in this place here today, is that anybody clamoring from Arewele for slapping her back in the public on social media, and our governor accepted for him to be received in the governor's house. I was giving 1 million for slapping somebody in the public in a developed society. Odawenu Wagbe. Go and mark it. As I said, all the faces that show in these calamities we follow in those make you not enter abroad again. Let me tell you now. And let's see who will win the case of MOA. MOA has come to stay. Nothing will change it. But I disturbance when I disturb for this Christmas, now it pay me. Money we MOA for make for this December. Employees, that people for employ. Everybody be going to. I'm not coming. Yeah, no. ML, everybody. Digital double slap. He did. Yeah, go walk up and make it. Ciao.
Now we don't hear from Pa Hitro. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.